Oh, yeah. And there's a gig on at Mickey's, but that doesn't get going till after 11, so what'll we do in the meantime, hey? Oh, yeah? Yeah, what? Just the four of us? Oh, you...
I'm sorry, Debbie's not going anywhere tonight.
Hey, what are you doing?
Sit down.
You just hung up on Di.
I should have done that weeks ago. Now sit down and listen to me.
No, I'm going to a disco.
You're not going anywhere. You're staying here even if I got to lock you in your room.
You wouldn't dare.
Try me.
Oh, look, Dad, come on, be a sport.
As long as you're under this roof, you'll do as you're told.
Oh, great. Here comes another lecture.
Tomorrow morning, I'm taking you to Wentworth Detention Centre, and you're going to spend 24 hours in the nick.
What? You're kidding.
You think it's so smart to knock around with your con mates believing everything they tell you, don't you? Well, you're going to find out where they come from and how they end up. You want to act like one, you can be like one.
I won't go. You can't make me. Well, just because you've done time in prison, you try and take it out on me now.
It's time you started thinking of yourself and stopped putting your trashy mates up on a pedestal.
You were trash yourself once, remember? Anyhow, it'll bugger up me weekend. We're going to the beach Sunday.
Debbie, there's two ways we can settle this.
All right, but I'll have to ring Di and tell her I can't come.
Keep it short.
Di? Look, I gotta opt out of tomorrow. Guess why? Dad's putting me in Wentworth for the day. Oh, it's something about seeing what it's like inside. Yeah, isn't it a scream? Hey, isn't that where you said B. Smith is? Oh, yeah, great. I can't wait to meet him. Well, I've got news for you. You're a joke. Everyone laughs behind your back, you know, Dad. Big-time cream turns to fight for truth and justice and the odds.
You're not at home now. Be quiet.
Is that an act, or do you always look like that?
Shut up, Debbie.
Thank you, Mr. Pearce. We'll take over now, if you don't mind.
Thank you, Miss Bennett.
Bring your things over here.
What for?
Just do as you're told.
Oh, great. Sounds just like home.
Right, I want you to go behind the screen and change into these.
I'm not a real prisoner, you know.
As long as you're in here, Pearce, you will address all officers by name. This is Miss Bennett, and I'm Mrs. Jackson.
And if you're not changed in 1 minute, I'll have the officers do it for you. Now move. We've got more important things to do than waste our time with you.
Oh, well, anything for a bit of a giggle.
It's not going to be easy.
What do you expect? The daughter of a man with his background. Now go back and strip.
What?
I must have forgotten to mention it. All prisoners have to be searched and showered. Now move!
They nearly drowned me, and she nearly scrubbed me skin off.
You are speaking about an officer and therefore will address her by name.
Pearce was extremely uncooperative, Mrs. Davidson. She refused to take a shower, so we had to use force.
Whilst you are in Wentworth, you will do exactly as the officers instruct you. You will participate in prison duties and you will experience confinement in a cell. You will also be under constant supervision of an officer and therefore be quite safe.
And who's going to protect me from the officers?
That's quite enough, Pearce. Mrs. Jackson, show her to her cell.
Can you put me in with B. Smith?
You know Smith?
Oh, heard about her, that's all. I was told she runs this place.
Then you've been listening to the wrong people.
Come along, Pearce.
Oh, but I love you, must be Debbie.
Lizzie, break it up, you lot. You should be in the rec room.
Okay, let's go.
Why can't you?
Inside, Pearce. See that she makes the bed properly, Mrs. Powell.
I have made one before, you know.
You make it according to regulations, and you keep making it until you get it right.
Well, come on, you heard Mrs. Jackson. Go and get cracking.
One of those women was B. Smith, wasn't she?
Maybe.
And kids your age think, oh, it's never going to happen to them.
You smirk all aboard just once more, sweetie.
And next time, that'll be something heavier. You think this is a game? Well, I'll tell you a few things. You are headed the right way to end up in here. And when you do, I am going to be waiting for you. And you won't think it's so funny then. Because you'll do what I say when I say. And if you so much as prick your nose without asking me, I will cut your stupid throat. You see, I've got nothing to lose. There's nothing more they can do to me. Have a look at Dorian and Lizzie. I said look at them! They're worth 10 of you! Yet they screwed themselves up and ended up in here because they had no one to straighten them out about a few facts. So I am doing you a favour. Now, I'll tell you a few things about this place. There was a kid your age that hung herself in her cell. Another one went off her head because they took her baby away from her. Then there was the one that was so scared she hid in a dryer and suffocated. You see, it breaks you. It ruins your life. But then you wouldn't care about that, would you? You know it all.
All right. Church services are in 5 minutes. Pearce, if you want to attend church, the Church of England in here, Catholics in the dining room.
I don't go to church.
See the others out. And get this one to the garden.
Hey, you really do run things around here, don't you?
Oh, you liked that, did you?
Yeah. I think you're terrific. I bet me Dad was like you. Before he went soft. Before they broke him. But they'll never
They didn't break your father. He woke up to himself. Something you wouldn't understand. You should take a good hard look at him sometime. You'll see a real man. Not like the smart-ass little cowards you've been knocking around with.
Yep, it's all there.
Sign for it. Your father will be waiting at the front gates for you.
So?
I thought you'd be pleased to see him after your little visit in here.
It was him who put me in here, wasn't it?
And no doubt we'll see you back. Only next time you won't find it all so amusing.
I wouldn't bet on it. I'm not as stupid as everyone seems to think I am.
That's what they all say. But sooner or later they get a bit too smart for their own good.
Oh, God. Everyone loves lecturing me.
Go around idolising people like B. Smith, and you'll learn the hard way.
I had to talk Dad into giving up his work, and he won't, and Mum won't listen when I tell her she ought to accept his. They're both too proud to give in.
Look, what are you telling me all this for?
You helped me once before, Bea. You made me realise what an idiot I was being. And then you talked about the importance of family love. Well, that's why I thought perhaps you might help me now.
Help you? Help you how?
Dad really respects you. He might listen to you, Bea. Will you talk to him? Try and persuade him to go back to Mum?
If your mother cared about him as much as you say she does, she wouldn't expect him to give up something that means one hell of a lot to him.
Yeah, but you can still love someone and hate what they do.
Not if it's part of them.
Then you won't talk to him.
No way.
You don't know what my mother's been through because of his stupid job.
His stupid job is what straightened you out. And if your mother can't handle it, then he is better off without her. And he'd be mighty proud of you knowing you were here broadcasting his private life behind his back.
You're going to tell him?
No, because I've got more respect for his feelings than you have. And I wouldn't want him knowing his daughter is no better than her mother.
You're just saying that because you're sweet on him yourself. And if he gave up his job, you'd never see him again. I'm not going to let you keep them apart, Bea.
I had no idea I had so much influence over him.
Wait by the gates for an officer, Smith.